Hubbard with 10 points to lead the way. For the Red Devils of Huntley Project, it's been an easy road to the state championship game. They opened up by defeating defending state champion Malta 77-58. That was on Thursday night. Joe Trottier with 28 points, a huge game, and Kevin Morales with 18 points. And then last night in the semifinals, it was Huntley Project over Boulder 70-52 in that game as they win it by 18. Randy Walter with 13 points. Kevin Morales, 13 points and 10 rebounds. Derek Decker finished with 10 points. And again, Joe Trottier leading the way with 23 points. Huntley Project is coached by Doug Vanderpan. And for the Columbus Cougars, they are coached by Paul Barta. And what a story for the Cougars. They started the season 6-5 on the year, but since then they have won 12 of their last 13 games. So Columbus, definitely a team that has been red hot. We've got a huge crowd on hand at Metro Park as it's filled up for this state championship game between two good quality programs. Paul Barta, the veteran coach, Doug Vanderpan, for Huntley Project, is now in his 4th season. He also coached in Highwood for 6 years, made 3 trips to the state tournament with Highwood. They won the state seed back in 1992. Terry Vanderpan, meanwhile, or Doug Vanderpan, meanwhile, as I said, now coaching the Red Devils from Huntley Project. So we're just getting set with player introductions, and we'll step aside for just a few moments now. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the opening tip. State championship night. It's Huntley Project and the Columbus Cougars. Don't go away.
I think we
For the state Class B championship in Billings. Players being introduced out on center court right now. The principals for tonight's game, looking at the records for these two teams. Columbus comes in at 20-6. Huntley Project, the number 2 ranked team in the state for most of the year, comes in at 25-2, but the only finished by winning 12 of their last 13 games, including the 2 big wins over Huntley. So Coach Barta certainly did an outstanding job having these kids peak at just the right time.
Coaches Paul Barta and Doug Vanderpan, nice people, gentle people on the outside. You know that there's some iron on the inside of that that brings the accomplishment. But I had the same feeling last night, and we had that in our 3rd place game. Corey Winters from Conrad and Bernie Wasser from Malta. The same kind of thing last night when we were up in Great Falls. The coaches of those 2 teams, or those 4 teams that were playing last night in the semifinals. And we had a delightful visit with Gordon Realbird, who in his 2nd year at Lame Deer, after a lot of years of success at Lodgegrass, has his team playing on Saturday night.
You know, what will be interesting to watch in this game, Dean, and I think one of the reasons why it makes it such an intriguing matchup is we're going to see 2 teams with completely different styles. Columbus is going to walk the ball up the court. They're going to take a lot of time off. They're going to slow the game down. They're going to take the air out of the basketball.
Everybody has used that phrase, Chris.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference who you talk about. They say Barta will take the air out of the basketball.
And he will. If you look at the win over Huntley last week at divisionals, it was a 52-48 game. That's exactly what he wants to have happen tonight. Huntley Project loves to run the floor. They're a more athletic team. They're a quicker team. And probably talent-wise, they're a little better than Columbus. So they're going to try to get out and run the floor. If Columbus can play the kind of game that they had Huntley play last year, they'll be in it. If the Red Devils are allowed to run the floor, then I think you give a big edge to Huntley in tonight's game.
There are a couple of things on the Columbus side of the ledger that are going to be watched. Nate Brown has just walked back to join his team. In this arena last night, read a story by Scott Manch, whom you met earlier tonight at halftime. Nate Brown heard on the PA system the call for an EMT, a call for a doctor, and it turned out that it was his father who needed the medical attention. They took him to the hospital, and it turned out to be a bleeding ulcer. Nate stayed here and played very well. So there was a piece of emotion. And now we see Dwan Edwards moving to center court to meet another player from Huntley, and he's kind of moving easily on an injured ankle. And the question is, how much is Dwan Edwards going to be able to go tonight?
You know,
he's going to Oregon State on a football scholarship.
That is a big, big point, Dean, because Dwan Edwards is the man for Columbus. They're going to need a big game out of him. As you know, he's been suffering with a sprained ankle. I was watching him in warm-ups earlier, and he looked running very gingerly on that ankle. So, going to be interesting early on to see how well he reacts to that, and if he's able to go at 100% tonight.
Now we have Paul Barta coming out to say hello to Doug Vanderpan. It was interesting to watch the interchange. They're exchanging a gift at Doug Vanderpan gets a tie from Paul Barta.
Well, Paul isn't one for ties, and he's always jokingly kidded around with Coach Vanderpan and how nice he looks at the game with the shirt, the tie, and the blazer. So he exchanged gave him another tie.
But there was that it was an interchange with respect and appreciation for the other fellow, and it was nice to see. But again, with Dwan Edwards, one of the things, Columbus needs him inside to maintain the inside threat that will help him on the outside.
I asked Coach Vanderpan if Dwan Edwards posed a matchup problem for his team, and he said, yep, he does. But he says, I think my other 4 guys pose matchup problems for their guys. So he said, yeah, Edwards is a big player, and he does pose matchup problems, but he thinks he has the edge with his other 4 starters. I'm going to set the starting lineups for you as we're set to go now in the state Class B, and this one is controlled by Huntley. Willie Davison, and quickly a whistle and a foul. Starting tonight for the Columbus Cougars, they will go with Nate Brown and Chris Hagg, along with Bill Davies, Seth Hubbard, and Dwan Edwards. For the Red Devils of Huntley Project, Randy Walter, Kevin Morales, and Willie Davison, along with Derek Decker and Joe Trottier. Off the bench first will be David Kars. He might be the smartest player on the court tonight. Turnaround shot is no good for Columbus, and the rebound of the Red Devils. And now a whistle and a foul. And this one is going to go on the big guy, Edwards, who picks up his first right away as we're just underway in the first quarter.
He smiles and shuffles down the court a little bit on that tender ankle. The rebound was ripped down by Derek Decker, who is headed to the University of Montana on a football scholarship. Number 42, Derek Decker, about 6'4", 250, something like that. And it's Kevin Morales.
Kevin Morales left wide open at the free throw line. You can't do that. He'll burn you. And Morales gets the first 2 points of the ball game. Columbus now goes to work on offense. Nate Brown, top man-to-man defense early on by Huntley as Chris Hagg loses it out of bounds. And the Red Devils with the basketball.
Number 34, Davison, is the player that Coach Barta mentioned is a guy who loves to give the ball up, loves to make things happen for other people.
Huntley Project with great size inside. Derek Decker, Morales, Trottier. Here's Davison on the kick pass to Walters. Now they swing it inside to Morales. He goes up with the shot. Back iron and drops in. Kevin Morales has the first 4 points of the ball game.
He was the quarterback on that championship football team, wasn't he, Chris?
Well, they're all football players and outstanding football players as well. Airballed by Edwards. Kevin Morales, the starting quarterback. Randy Walter and Willie Davison each rushed for over 1,000 yards in the wing T offense. And Derek Decker, whom you mentioned, is one of the strongest athletes in the state of Montana. And you talk about matchup problems. How would you like to get down there and bang it around with Derek Decker?
Well, I think if anybody can, it's Dwan Edwards.
Yeah. So Huntley Project with the lead in the basketball just underway. Here's Walters way outside, and this one won't go.
Decker
Rebound
gets a hand
Morales.
on it.
Morales' shot won't go. Batted out by Decker. Trottier, he's had a big tournament.
On a couple of those rebounds, Decker didn't even try. Nice pass inside.
Great pass by Willie Davison to Joe Trottier. And it's a 6-0 lead, and Paul Barta wants a timeout. The Red Devils, out quickly in the first quarter, have taken control early on as they lead Columbus 6-0. And a revved-up house at Metro Park. Huntley Project stunned by Columbus. in last week's South B Divisional. They were beaten by 4. They were the number 3 seed in the tournament. They had to come in and beat Malta. They did that. They came back last night and beat Boulder 70-52. Columbus, as we said, really struggled to get to the title game.
Well, their first game victory over the defending champions, Malta, was a 19-point margin. That was substantial. There wasn't much doubt in that one.
And they won by 18 last night against Boulder. So Columbus now slow the ball up. They'll get into the half-court offense. Chris Haig looks inside. Haig inside to Hubbard, and a whistle and a foul, and this one goes against Kevin Morales. So if you look at the size matchups for Huntley Project, Morales is 6'7", Derek Decker is 6'3", and Trottier is 6'2". But not only do they have good size, they're big inside. Not just tall, but big. Edwards the biggest for Columbus.
Edwards is 6'3". I think Decker is maybe a little bit taller than that 6'3" that they list him.
Here's a shot on the inside. Still won't go. The lid is closed on Columbus.
He's just a powerhouse inside, Decker.
Decker rips it down. Here's Willie Davison. Thinks about it, but passes up the shot. Now they go inside to Morales. Here's a shot from the baseline, and this one won't go. Trottier can't get it. Turnover.
Chris, I watched Dwan Edwards trying to work for position against Decker, and he is limping. His effectiveness is not going to be what it would have been prior to that injury.
You know, Columbus basketball team was up at Essex having dinner last night after their semifinal win, and we had a chance to visit with the team. They felt good about tonight, and Edwards had the leg up on a chair and was kind of nursing it, and we all wondered at the time if he was going to be 100%, and he certainly looks a step slower than usual.
Well, I think his coach said if he's 65 or 70%, we'll settle for that.
Absolutely.
But he was trying to establish position against Decker, and
nice pass. Here's Haig. Baseline jumper rattles in.
They're on the board.
Cougars are on the board off the assist to Dwan Edwards. 6-2. Tempo favoring the Cougars, Dean. This is what they want to do. They've got Huntley in that half-court offense. They don't want him to be able to run the floor. And thus far, nice pass inside by Willie Davison.
Good defensive play by Seth Hubbard.
You talk about great kids. Willie Davison is as good as they come, Dean. He was a Wendy's High School Heisman nominee. He's a 4.0 honor student, and just the nicest guy you'd ever want to be around, and an outstanding athlete as well.
Has he made any decisions about where he may want to go to school, Chris?
I'm not sure where Willie's going to go. I hear that Kevin Morales perhaps off to MSU Billings. That would make Craig Karst extremely happy, the head coach of the Yellow Jackets. Derek Decker, of course, is going to the University of Montana.
Morales is not interested in playing football.
Yeah, he told us a couple of months ago that he really didn't want to play football in college, although I know a lot of college head coaches would love to have him. He has an outstanding arm. If you had a chance to see him in football, really something special. There's just a lot of good athletes on the floor for both these teams. Here's a nice baseline drive by Hubbard.
I got a question for you, Chris, because I had a little bit of difficulty accepting Decker as a 6'3" player as we go to the replay here. I've also got Morales really doesn't look like he's 6'7" to me.
Go on.
I mean, it's like calling Charles Barkley 6'8".
Well, you know how they fudge on program masters. You're never really sure. But I think size-wise, if you look at Huntley, I mean, they've got good, strong kids at all 5 positions. They don't have any small players out there, and a lot of that, of course, is from playing football and conditioning and lifting weights. Here's Randy Walters, and he gives it up. I'll tell you more on Randy Walters in a moment.
Nice pass.
Boy,
Davison is a great passer.
Pretty pass to Trottier.
I see why he gets 8 assists a game.
Trottier's had a huge tournament for the Red Devils offensively, and he starts out hot here, 8-3. Huntley by 5, and now Morales kicks it out of there and creates the turnover. Here's Davison, the trigger man in the Red Devil offense, gives it to Walters. Long three is short. Edwards pulls down the rebound, and he's slow getting up. You can tell, Dean, the ankle really bothers him.
You understand why players, when they get to the championship game, so much want to play. We saw last night Heinsasser, who probably late in the first quarter, he was back at halftime, played the second half, because it only comes once. But you hope they don't hurt themselves longer term when that kind of thing happens, and their heart puts them out on the floor. But maybe it's a little bit tough on whether they should be there.
Nate Brown hit a three to make it 8-6, and now Columbus all of a sudden, after struggling early, within two at the 2:30 mark of the first quarter.
And that fast 6-0 start in 2 minutes, Huntley scored 2 points since then.
Well, and again, the tempo of the game, something you want to watch. This is exactly where Coach Barta wants this game to be played. This is the speed he wants it to be played at. Here's the drive by Haig, sealed off nicely by Morales. Nothing there.
Columbus is patient. It's a kick. So the non-existent clock shot will not be reset, and Columbus will take as much time deflating that ball.
David Karst now checks into the lineup for the first time. He transferred to Huntley in the middle of the season from Billings Central. He, of course, the son of MSU Billings head coach Craig Karst, and you talk about kids that live in the gym. David Karst is one of those kids. A great kid. He's a smart player, and he's not going to score a ton of points, but I'll tell you, this guy knows the game of basketball and can run that offense.
Well, Billings Central had players coming and going. They got a player from Colstrip. Karst left. There was another player who left and went to Billings Senior. So there was some coming and going at Billings Central during the season, which probably didn't help them a lot.
No, and as you know, Central was 2-0 at the Eastern A Divisionals.
Hubbard ties up Morales.
Yep, and that's going to go possession arrow to Columbus. So the Cougars now, after a slow start with a chance to tie the game, 1:55 to go, opening quarter from Metro Park. The State B. Long pass over the top. Now they get it to Edwards. Edwards turnaround jumper is good. First 2 points of the night for Edwards.
His first shot, it really isn't.
I think so, and that ties the game at 8. And when you post up that close to the basket, it's going to be awfully tough to defense. Just backs in and gets the little turnaround. Across the top now. Here's Karst. Gets it left side to Willie, who goes inside on a pretty feed to Trottier. And Joe Trottier hits again.
He's had a big tournament. Trottier he was the leading scorer in Huntley's first round game. He was the leading scorer for Huntley last night.
He's got 6 tonight. Here's Edwards. Turnaround. No good. Tapped up. No good. Hubbard can't get it to go, and Davison. They get it to Morales. Morales pull-up jumper. Nice touch. That is a shooter's touch, folks. That ball was short, hung on the rim, had great rotation, and drops down for 2.
And Morales has 6.
6 for Morales. 6 for
Trottier has 6.
Shot won't go. Now up, and this one won't go. Edwards fights with Decker for it, and now pulled down by Haig. Good work on the offensive glass. Hubbard.
Little jump hook.
Little jump hook with the right hand. And Hubbard, who averages 10 a game and 6 boards, pulls Columbus to within 2 at 12-10. 15 seconds to go, opening quarter. Trottier throws this one up, and this one falls. 8 points for Joe Trottier, opening quarter. 14-10 Red Devils. Down to 4 seconds to go. Shot at the buzzer. If it goes, it counts. Short, and that'll do it.
And before we go to the quarter break, we have a third-place score from the Class C tournament at Great Falls. Medicine Lake 70, Lame Deer 54, so Medicine Lake wins third place in the Class C. We'll be back with more Monday Night Basketball Saturday Championship Edition from the State Class B tournament at Metro Park.
Columbus, Red Devils lead it by 4, 14-10. Trottier and Morales have accounted for all 14 points for the Red Devils in the opening quarter. Davison to Morales, turnaround shot is good. Oh, they are going to have to get a hand in the face of Kevin Morales. That is too easy. 16-10. Huntley, straight up man-to-man defense.
Well, Huntley shot 7 of 9 for 78% in the first half. They hit their first shot in the third quarter. They're shooting 80% for the ball game.
Now a loose ball. They fight for it. Decker's on the ground. And now a 20-second timeout.
Huntley takes the timeout. 8 of 10 for... You're going to get a look, I think, at the battle for the ball. Players battling to get position on that one to see who can dive for it.
You can tell it's a state championship game by that.
Sure can. 8 of 10 for Huntley Project to get this game started. Columbus 33% on 3 of 9.
Andy Reynolds into the game for Huntley now, along with Karst at the guard spot. Davison, Decker, Morales inside. Going to spread the floor now, get some spacing. Here's Morales outside the arc. Karst looks inside. Nothing there. Here's Karst now with a pull-up jumper. Nice touch for David Karst. Puts in his first 2 of the night, and that makes it 18-10. Red Devils. Another guy with a nice soft touch. Here's Edwards now. Backs in on Decker. Loses the ball, and it's going to go to Huntley Project. So they've done a good job of bottling up Edwards so far. He's been held to 2 points. And Huntley Project now has built an 8-point lead. 6:24 to go in this first half. State Class B title on the line. You see some of the matchup problems for Columbus. Size-wise there on that last picture. Here's Davison. Swings it to Karst. Karst now feeds Morales, who cuts to the basket. Won't go. Fight for the ball, and Edwards pulls it down.
It was a nice tip, I think, by Columbus's Chris Haig.
Here's Phil Davey now with the basketball. He's been quiet tonight, averages 13 a game. John Orcutt into the lineup for the Cougars. He's got the ball, now looks into Edwards, who's got it. Now fires it back up. Shot from the top of the key, won't go. Davison will clear it for the Red Devils.
Decker isn't necessarily concerned with pulling the rebound down. He'll tap it to a teammate.
Here's Reynolds in traffic. His shot is short. Edwards fighting for the rebound. It goes to Columbus. Substitutions now for Huntley Project. Randy Walters into the game. Taking a seat is the big man, Derek Decker. He sits down. You know, oftentimes, Dean, on these state championship games, the teams that are playing are teams that have been together for a long time. And I know in the case of Huntley, these guys have been playing together forever. Ever since they were in junior high, I can remember when people would talk about the great kids that were coming up in Huntley Project, and here they are in the state championship.
And I think I saw something from Decker saying, well, we've been playing together since we were in the 5th grade.
They have. Here's a long shot by David Karst. You can count it. David Karst, 2 for 2. That's a 3, and a double-digit lead now for Huntley at 21-10. And Paul Barter wants a 20. So offensively, the Red Devils much better than they were in last week's loss to Columbus at the South B Divisional. Watch the touch by David Karst from beyond the arc.
Dead solid, perfect.
Absolutely. He is a savvy player. He can do so many things for you. He can score, but he also very smart on the court. He's got good awareness.
6-foot junior.
Just a junior. He's got another year. It's not like his dad didn't have the key to the gym, though. Craig Kars, coach of MSU Billings. Well, what a run he's had.
Like Gary Kane, whose mom had the key to the gym.
Yep. It's funny how there's a connection between the amount of practice you put in and how you perform out on the court.
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Saw a piece on television on they were doing on Jason Williams out at the outstanding guard from Sacramento, and he was saying the same thing. He said, I'd go to the gym, play till 1 in the morning, and when I had no one to shoot with, I just throw the ball off the concrete and feed myself. There's Edwards inside, got position, pulls up and draws the foul. Davison's going to get called on a reach-in.
Edwards moves hard. Davison comes in and tries to get the ball, gets the foul. It's the kind of thing, Chris, that the kids who shovel the snow from the driveway, sweep it off, have to wear gloves to dribble and shoot, but that's what they're going to do. And that does pay off.
Yep, it sure does. Here's Edwards now, the second shot on the way and good. So the 2 free throws by Edwards brings Columbus to within 9 at 21-12. But already Huntley Project much better offensively than they were last week.
But take a look at what Columbus did when they came out of the timeout. The first thing they did was to force it inside to Edwards. And he made something happen.
Nice job by Phil Davey to come up with the loose ball. And Columbus now back to work on offense. Coming across the lane off the screen is Randy Smith. Smith gets it to Nate Brown.
I think we're going to see the wood carver approach. They're just going to whittle away at that lead.
Oh, Columbus, what a great second half of the season they had, winning 12 of their last 13 games, a great run at the districts and the divisionals, and 2 big wins here at the state tournament to land them into the title game. Davison gets his hand in there, knocks it away.
Getting a foul.
Here's Edwards, backs in. Now a shot on the way from the left side, it won't go. Nate Brown is short. Huntley Project with the basketball and a 9-point lead. 3:13 to go, second quarter. State title on the line. There's a pretty pass inside, and Trottier wasn't ready for it. Sails out of bounds, and the turnover goes to Columbus. If you look at the football connection on the Red Devil team, and we talked about it, Dean, 9 of the 12 players on the team also played on the state championship team, which beat Malta 34-17.
And the Malta players, that rankles them a little bit, and it was aggravated by Thursday afternoon's first round defeat.
There's a nice move on the inside by Seth Hubbard, who takes the pass and goes up strong for 2, and that cuts the lead to 7, 21-14.
Columbus has scored on 2 of the 3 possessions since the timeout, but again, take the ball inside.
Nice play by Kars.
Gets called for the player control.
Gets called for the offensive foul, and Nate Brown head hit the floor. He's trying to shake off the cobwebs.
He's the fellow who hit a big 3-pointer last night for Columbus as they were coming back against Cutbank.
He seems to be okay. He'll stay in the game. Huntley making his 3rd straight state B appearance. Looking for their first championship in those 3 years. I'll tell you, Dean, what a drought it's been for Huntley. If you take away the 3 years in a row that Coach Vanderpan has had them in the state championship, you have to go back to 1972 before they were in the state championship prior to that.
It's a long drought.
It's a long drought, and there's been many lean years at Huntley Project. But
while you give Coach Vanderpan the credit, and Decker takes it inside, just pounds it inside against Edwards, and that's the first time that Huntley has scored since that Columbus timeout. There's another thing that works with that, and we've talked about that, and that is kids who have played together for a long time.
Right. Columbus.
They just happened to mature at that time.
Columbus has been on a streak of their own. They're making their 4th straight appearance to the state tournament. 6 in the last 7 years as Morales fires. That's a rim rattler that won't go. Under head coach Paul Barta, they were 2nd in 1993, 2nd in 94. Last title in Columbus, Dean, 1977, when they were a Class C school.
Well, they've had a number of great athletes at Columbus. They probably they've enjoyed more success in football than on the court.
Great football program. A lot of names, a lot of players come out of there. There's a
good move into the basket by Hubbard.
Don't think they're going to count the basket.
It's not the NBA. We don't get continuation.
It will go to the line, though, as they are in the bonus.
The foul is on Trotter.
Hubbard kind of lowered the shoulder there, but he got the foul.
And it's something to pay attention to. That's the third foul on Trotter.
That could be big. First free throw, in and out, no good. Cleared by Decker. Huntley trails it, or Columbus rather, trails it by 9. Now we got a whistle and a foul. They want the basket.
Great acceleration. Say the foul was on the drive, no basket.
Just the 4th team foul on Columbus, so Huntley to inbounds. 57 seconds to go in the second quarter. 23-14. Low-scoring game as we anticipated. Really a slowed down offensively for Huntley Project after a quick start. Now we'll see what the Cougars come with, trailing by 9. Nate Brown gives it to Edwards. Edwards guarded by Decker. Here's Brown. Baseline shot won't go. Rebound by Phil Davey. Davey's shot won't go. And Morales is pushed out of bounds.
I'm curious if he was pushed out of bounds by Hubbard, but I'm curious if Hubbard got pushed into him.
I don't think so. I think he just gave him a look, maybe. Certainly may have. Decker was right behind him. At any rate, Huntley has the ball. 10 seconds to go in the second quarter. Kars to Davison. To Walters. Kars is going to shoot the final shot of the quarter, and it won't go. Rattles around. Brown has it, and that'll do it. 2 quarters are in the book at the State Class B Basketball Championship from Metro Park. Your score, Huntley Project leads it over the Columbus Cougars, 23-14. Huntley Project scored the first 6 points of the game. Columbus came back to tie it, but since then, Huntley Project with a nice run in the second quarter to open up a 9-point lead. Dean Conklin now standing by with Huntley Project head coach Doug Vanderpan. Dean?
Coach Vanderpan, is the pace a pace that you're satisfied with?
Well, it's close. We're not running the floor like we can, and they're letting us run a little bit. But it's getting close, and maybe the second half, they'll get worn down a little bit. But it's close to the pace we want.
Are you seeing Columbus trying to take the ball inside with your big guy Trotter picking up his 3rd foul?
Yeah, they have a little bit. I think maybe they could take it to the hole a little bit more. They're getting it inside and then kicking it back out. But they're not, we're covering down and we're double teaming on Dewan and Hubbard, and that's pretty effective against what they're trying to do.
Any changes you anticipate?
Well, we're going to try to move the ball around the perimeter a little bit more, get it in the key, get them a little out of position defensively in the post, and hopefully that's going to help us.
Coach, I know you want to get into the locker room with your team. Thanks for joining us as Huntley holds a 23-14 lead at halftime. Thank you, Coach. And now we'll go to Chris Byers with updates that he has for us.
Thank you, Dean. So 2 quarters in the books at the State Class B. Huntley Project on top by 9. And taking a look at the first half statistics, we'll try to tally it up quickly for you. For the Columbus Cougars, no one in double figures. Hubbard has 5 points, Dewan Edwards with 4, and Nate Brown with 3. First half shooting for Columbus, 28% in the first half on 4 of 14 shooting, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. So shooting percentages definitely not going the way of the Cougars. Meanwhile, for Huntley Project, they are led by Kevin Morales, who has 8 points, David Kars with 5. He was 1 of 2 from the field and 1 of 1 from three-point line. Derek Decker has a couple. Joe Trottier with 8 points. Huntley Project shooting 62% from the field in the first half on 10 of 16 shooting, 33% from beyond the arc, 1 of 3. They've been to the free throw line twice and have yet to connect. So 23-14 the score. Huntley leads it by 9. We'll be back with more halftime festivities. Stay with us. You're watching Monday Night Basketball from Metro Park.
Great day for sailing. Ready, gang? When your daddy and you go to sail for the day, make sure the power lines are far away. When your daddy and you make the house look fine, don't raise ladders or antennas near power lines. Hey, this lightning bug doesn't raise his antenna near power lines. No way! You gotta stay away from power lines. You gotta stay away from power lines.
I called Carrie today.
How's she?
As talkative as ever.
Touch America will provide you economical fiber optic long-distance service.
Now, don't forget, I'm on the road all next week.
But how will I tell you good night?
We'll develop innovative calling programs for you.
Do you know a hummingbird beats its wings 78 times a second?
We'll even open up a world of information to you. But we'll never call and interrupt your dinner. So please, call us. We're Touch America, telecommunications from the Montana Power Company.
Halftime, and Huntley holds a 23-14 lead over Columbus in the state Class B championship game. Al Walker, longtime coach at Absaroka, is with us now. And Al, you've got an interesting assignment.
Yeah, the Midland Roundtable has selected me to coach the 1999 Montana All-Stars in the Montana-Wyoming All-Star game, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, this is a game that, a series that got started in the mid-'70s, and the format has been one game down at Sheridan and one game up in Billings.
Right, we go to Sheridan on June 11th, and then we come back up here on June 12th at Rocky. And so it'll, it's two great games, one played in each state, great crowds, and of course 10 great kids.
Now, Bruce Hoffman has been the coach down at Sheridan ever since that series got started, and I know that he is taking retirement from his junior college job. Is he going to continue to coach, or will there be a change down there as well?
Well, I don't know. The Midland Roundtable Committee probably has not visited with Bruce yet, but his longtime assistant is taking over his job, and Bruce is moving to the golf course, so I think he might have a little time to help out.
Well, Al, you coached for 31 years, 3 basketball championships, 3 football championships, a couple of basketball championships. We've spent a few evenings with your son up at Northern.
Right. I think what you guys are doing with the Monday Night Football and the Frontier Conference is fantastic, because it's a long ways from Absaroka to Havre to go watch a game.
Well, we've had a great time, and I know that you've been out doing some prospecting.
Yeah, I've hit all the state tournaments. The committee has a list of names, and we're looking at the kids who are participating in the state tournaments. And then next week, the Radisson Classic will bring about a variety of kids. All the seniors come into Billings Senior High School, and that'll be a great tournament on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week.
Now, is one of the criteria that you have to be an all-state player before you're selected?
Not really. The committee has never said that. They'd like that to happen, but over the years, Randy Morrison coached them, Toby Kangas, Gary did a great job, and basically the coaches send in their recommendations, and the committee looks at it and sees the kids under a state tournament atmosphere, and then under the freelancing of the Radisson Classic.
Well, do you have some ideas about guys who are sure bets?
No, I don't. I wish I did, but there's some great players around the state that I've had a chance to look at the last couple of weeks.
Well, Al, our Monday night schedule through 6 nights of high school basketball, we were in Bozeman Thursday, Great Falls Friday, and you were just the opposite of
right.
that.
Yeah, I saw some great kids in Great Falls, and the Stewart kids going to the University of Montana. Jensen kid out of Medicine Lake looked good, and of course the Riddle boy out of Missoula and White, and there's a variety of them that I think look real good.
Well, you know what maybe about the better part of your job now, Al, is You really don't have to worry about the alums, and there aren't going to be a lot of parents involved either.
Well, my wife mentioned that to me, and I told her the best thing about it is start on Monday morning. We're done on Sunday night.
Well, we wish you good luck in that series with Wyoming. It's been a wonderful showcase for Montana kids, Al. So good luck in that one. And we'll be back with more Monday Night Basketball Saturday night, Class B Championship edition.
Montana's a big place, and telephones have been bringing us together since 1878. But you may not have noticed our company, building a fiber optic network, offering long-distance and internet services, quietly improving communications for the last 14 years. Well, it's time we drop in and introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm your neighbor. Pleasure to meet you. Good to meet you.
We're Touch America, telecommunications from the Montana Power Company.
Through sports, I've learned that you have to be as humble when you win as you do when you lose.
I've learned through dedication and hard work that anything is possible.
Sports has shown me the value of respect for my teammates, for my opponents, and most importantly for myself. I've learned games aren't won by individuals, they're won by teams.
I found that good coaching is just as important in life as it is in sports.
I worked in Tania for Wilson High School, and I want you to focus on respect.
About the pace of this first half.
Well, the pace is about where we want it. You know, if they have 46 at the end of the game, it's where we want it. We've got to hit our free throws. We've missed 3 or 4 front ends of the 1-and-1s, and that hasn't done us any good. We've had some good shots, some good looks, and second half, if we can get them to drop, I think we'll be all right.
Is Dwan Edwards able to move well enough?
He's not bad. He's not 100%, but that's part of the game. You know, you got to take you know, what you got and do the best with what's there. And, you know, he's given us every ounce of energy he's got.
When you took the time out late in the second quarter, when you came back out, you started to take the ball inside. Are you going to continue to do that?
Well, we wanted to go inside from start to finish. We were a little bit impatient the first 6 minutes, and we took a few long ones a little bit quick. But that's what we want to do, is try to attack inside as much as we can.
Coach, thanks for taking the time to join us at halftime. Good luck to you and the Cougars in the second half. And now we'll turn it to Chris Byers.
Thank you, Dean. And we are set to go, just about set to go, about a minute away from the second half of tonight's State Class B Championship tilt between Huntley Project and Columbus, where the Red Devils have opened up a 9-point lead at 23-14. You heard Paul Barta talk about it. He likes the pace at which the game is being played. He wanted to slow it down. And as he said, if he could hold Huntley Project to 46 points tonight, he would be happy. The problem has been in the Cougar offense that they have been unable to get on track offensively. And this annual 2-game series with Wyoming in June, the Montana-Wyoming All-Star Game, sponsored by the Midland Roundtable here in Billings. The top 10 seniors in all classes from Montana against the top 10 seniors from Wyoming. And I think there might be a player or two, Dean, on this floor right now that'll be playing as a Montana All-Star in June.
And I think one of them may have been looking over and checking you out, Chris. Number 32.
I think so.
You know, we've had some great tournaments in this building, some great games. And I was in Billings in the mid-'70s, I guess, when this place opened. I remember a couple of back-to-back AA tournaments. CMR came in and won one, and the next year Mike Guan and the Great Falls Bison came in and won another one. Remember seeing the Utah Jazz play here the first time I met Mark Eaton and Frank Layden. You have some memories here, I'm sure, too.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I remember back to some classic West Senior matchups back when West High had some outstanding teams in the early 90s, and you'd get 8,500 to 9,000 people in here for that. And then, of course, some state championship games as well, watching players like Edwards inside. They're going to have more of that. Jonathan Take's enemy from Hardin played some memorable games here. Barney Smart enemy from Plentycoo. Now another turnover for Huntley Project. And Columbus now with a little run here to start the third quarter.
Well, I don't know if you were able to hear this, Chris, but I asked Coach Barta if they were going to continue to take the ball inside as they did the last 4 minutes of the second quarter. And he said, yes, they were. They should have been doing that the whole game. They got a little impatient, put shots up from outside. So I think we know what he talked about with his players, and inside again.
Boy, Hubbard almost with a chance at a three-point play.
Draws the foul on Morales.
Draws the foul on Kevin Morales, and that'll send it to the line for a couple of free throws.
Here's Seth Hubbard against Morales. Moves inside, comes back. Got his hand on the ball, and then he came down the arm.
Dean, they had an Eastern A divisional back here in the mid-'80s, and there wasn't a bad team in the division that year, and every team had a great player. Livingston had the Furch brothers, and Glendive had Roger Fastings, and Sidney had Shane Quilling,
and Hardin must have been in with Takes
Enemy. There was not a bad team in that divisional, and
I had the opportunity to see that 104-102 Saturday morning loser out game at your favorite arena, the Butte Civic Center.
Wasn't that something?
Oh, man.
Wasn't that something?
Oh, man.
23-17, the Red Devil lead has been cut to 6. Cougars have chipped into that 9-point deficit by 3 as Morales swings it around to Davison. Willie's first shot of the night is the bottom of the net. Willie Davison with a 3. Extends the lead back to 9. Davison averages 9 points and 8 assists a game, and that was his first basket of the night. Here's Edwards. Way outside, he throws it up and it won't go. Battle for the loose ball between Haig, and it's taken away by Davison, who finds Walters. All alone, right side won't go. Rebound to Edwards.
I can't imagine that outside 3 that Edwards attempted was really what Paul Barta wants his Cougars to be doing.
Don't think so. That's what he wants, though. On a nice pull-up jumper by Phil Davey, who averages 13 a game. Davey connects 26-19, 5:50 to go, third quarter. The Cougars have trailed from the opening bell. Here's Davison outside for another 3.
He's feeling it. He's bouncing down the court as if he were a boxer up on the toes of his feet. That felt good.
Willie Davison gives the Red Devils its biggest lead of the game at 10, 29-19. We go inside to Hubbard. Try to go to him again, and Huntley Project with the basketball. Well, the Cougars made a little run to start the third quarter as they got within 6. But then back-to-back threes by Willie Davison ups the lead to 10 rather. Now a foul. That's going to go.
Chris Haig.
That's his first. And the first team foul for Columbus here in the second half.
Well, Chris Haig is giving away about 8 inches. 6 to 8 inches. Little discussion about what you can and cannot do in setting up to defend.
Inbounds to Randy Walters. Walters, cross court to Davison. Here's Trottier. He gets inside to Morales off the double team, and he still gets it to go. Morales.
Up by 12.
10 points for Morales on the night. Now a timeout by Paul Barta. And the lead is 12. 4:55 to go, third quarter. Huntley Project on top, 31-19. I thought Columbus team was going to put a little run on them there to start the third quarter.
They did. They got 3 points early, and after Davison hit his 3, they came back with another bucket, and it was at 7. But Davison hit it for the second time. He just hit it from long range, and then they took it to Morales inside. And Coach Barta said he thought there was only one place that he could match up his athlete with Huntley Project. And of course, he's talking about Dwan Edwards. And Huntley probably had the better of it at the other 4 positions.
There's what they want. They get the inside-outside working as they cleared out the left side, and they got it to Edwards, but he can't get the basket, and now a foul on the other end as
Trottier takes the ball, and he's aggressive in trying to keep that ball. Sometimes that's going to result in a call for swinging the elbows. Well, you saw Hubbard react, and he also had his arm on Trottier's arm.
Edwards with
nice
a nice
play by Edwards.
Good fronting defense by Edwards as he reaches in and bats it away, and that turns the ball over to Columbus. Checking in for the Cougars is John Orcutt. Sitting down.
Let me just make a couple of observations, Chris. We saw it again tonight. I like the MHSA opening ceremony where they have the flag teams from both schools involved. I thought that was a nice touch. At the Class A tournament, when Whitefish came out to pick up its award, all the players in ties and coats, which is a measure of discipline, I think. We're going to see a foul on Davison as Hubbard goes down. I saw it last night in Great Falls. We'll get another look at this inside posting this. Well, what happened before Davison picked up the ball. And Nate Brown nails the three. But I think it was Medicine Lake came into the arena last night. Players were wearing ties. I don't mean tie or you're not classy, but it's a measure of we're at a big show, and we're going to show some respect for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the MHSA events, it's always fun at state tournament time, and I think there's always a lot of fellowship between the teams, especially after the tournament's over, and that's always good to see. They got Edwards now inside. And no question that Dewan is not at 100% tonight.
And their neighborhood battles in these championship games. We've got one right here. Bozeman and Billings West, both from Eastern AA. And then up north, it's KG against Chester. 3 neighborhood fights going on tonight.
Well, they had a lot of folks. Nice turnaround shot. That's good by Trottier. A lot of folks asking us if we had heard anything from Bozeman or Great Falls, so hopefully we can get a score, or at least a halftime score from the State C and AA, and pass those along to the folks. Inside on a pretty pass. Shot is up and in by Seth Huppert. 33-24, Cougars within 9.
I know we passed along the Class C third place game with Medicine Lake beating Lame Deer. I don't think we've seen the score yet out of Bozeman on the third place game over there.
So Trottier draws the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot a pair. 15 points and 10 rebounds a game for the 6'2 senior. He's at the line with his team leading by 9. Substitutions now as David Karst comes back into the lineup. Justin Stenerson checks in for the Cougars.
Columbus doesn't have a lot of height, and you really see the mismatch in height in the backcourt.
Oh yeah. Here's Trottier's second shot. This one is good. Double-digit lead at 34-24. 2:25 to go, third quarter. Huntley is led from the opening tip. Here's Edwards. Little too far out. Tries baseline. That's sealed off. Now they go to Hubbard, who backs Morales in. Tips it up and in. Good work on the offensive glass by Hubbard as he missed the initial shot and then gets the second one to fall.
The best that Columbus was able to do, Chris, was in the first quarter when they came back from a 6-0 deficit to tie it at 8. Karst strokes that one.
Karst is perfect from the field. Well, he missed one in the second quarter, but 2 3-pointers now for David. 37-26. Huppert's been solid for Columbus offensively. He's got 10 points on the night, and there's Edwards all alone inside. Edwards scoops it up, pulls the Cougars to within 9 again at 37-28. 1:30 to go in the third.
With that move, you get an idea of how powerful he can be inside.
Davison gets it to Karst, who looks inside. They're trying to get it to Morales, but fronted nicely. Decker up top, Trottier down low. That's a good high-low combination there. 2 big guys.
Well, Stenerson is trying to, at 5'8", is trying to defend Trottier at 6'2" in the low post.
They spread the floor now. Davison. Trotter gets it to Decker, who works on Edwards. Turnaround shot is good. He only averages 5 points a game, but that was a big one as Decker extends the lead to 11. 40 seconds to go in the third. Inside to Edwards. Quick move. Loses the handle. Now double teamed.
I think he wanted to go to the basket until he lost the handle.
Orcutt loses it. Here comes Kevin Morales. Morales with the drive and the easy two. Oh, man, what a run here in the third.
Edwards went down hard at the defensive end of the court and limped again when he was getting up as the play went the other direction with Morales getting the payoff.
Phil Davey follows his own shot and it won't go. Edwards fighting for it. And now they're going to call
Ball is off the top of the board.
So the turnover to Huntley. 41-28. The lead is ballooned to 13. 2.5 seconds to go in the third. Davison going to launch one from half court. Shot is up and off the glass. So a strong third quarter by the Red Devils has propelled Huntley Project to a 13-point lead at Metro Park. 41-28. You're watching the State Class B Basketball Championship, a Saturday night edition of Monday Night Basketball. Back with the fourth quarter after this.
Tonight, let TCI change your view of pay-per-view. Order TCI Digital Pay-Per-View, an exciting feature of TCI Digital Cable. With more hit movies and more frequent start times, it's like having a movie multiplex in your own home, plus a ringside seat for the hottest live events. And with TCI Digital Cable, pay-per-view is more affordable, with a new low price for every movie. TCI Digital Pay-Per-View. More choice, more convenience, more of the best entertainment at home.
Now, if you're in the dark, how lights turn on, little Louie's gonna tell you in this little old song. First we go dig deep for coal, or way up here where the waters flow. We make the water turn or the coal to burn. Either way, it's gonna make the generator turn, and that's called electricity. Now we have the power moving down the line, gonna make it to your house right on time. To turn on the light, flick on the switch, pull out the knob and tune in the hit. Yeah, that's called electricity.
Well, here comes the play that puts the ball off the top of the board.
Fourth quarter underway, 41-28, our score. Huntley Project scored the first 6 points of the game. They have never trailed.
Karst forces the drive, and Columbus's Phil Davey draws the foul, his second.
Just the second team foul, or fourth rather for Columbus. Only 2 team fouls for Huntley Project, so this game has been foul-free for the most part, as Karst now has to go way up top to Davison. And let's see if Coach Vanderpan steals a page out of Paul Barta's playbook and opts to slow this game down himself a little bit. There's Decker with the ball, holds it up there. Davison inside. Trottier muscles his way up, but Morales is there for the rebound, and he's got it.
Bodies on the floor.
The bucket and a chance for one more. 43-28, a 15-point lead for the Red Devils. It's been a great run for Huntley Project with this group of seniors for the last 3 years, but they have never won a state championship. They lost last year in the semifinals. They lost the year before in the opening round. This year, they have rolled to the title game, and they are 7 minutes and 28 seconds away from the state championship. They lead it by 16. Columbus needs some offense in a hurry. Here's Edwards. Edwards, pull-up jumper, too hard. Morales with the rebound. Baseballs it down to Morales to Randy Walters. Walters with the finish.
You were going to tell us the story about Walters.
Well, I told you I told you what a great football player and basketball player is, but the man's career will be in baseball. He's an outstanding pitcher for the Billings Royals. And now here's Willie Davison. And all of a sudden, that transition game that Columbus had taken away from Huntley is now suddenly back. The Red Devils starting to run the floor. Yeah, Randy Walters is an outstanding pitcher in American Legion baseball. In fact, he pitched for them when he was 15 years old. Here's Columbus now, all of a sudden trailing by 18. You see how explosive, Dean, Huntley Project is when that offense starts to click.
Well, through 3 quarters, they were shooting 70% on 14 of 20, and Morales hit the first one to start the second quarter. That would be 15 out of 21. Another look.
Well, you see Decker there with a little push in the back, and he gets called for the foul. You can tell what Columbus has tried to do. They try to isolate that seal off that one side and get the guard to get it into Edwards, but it just hasn't been effective. Now a loose ball, shot block. And Haig will track it down for Columbus. He's got numbers to Edwards. Pull-up jumper is good.
Edwards had to, Edwards didn't really move freely. He had to get squared away before he took his steps to the basket, and then he drains it.
10 points for Dewan Edwards.
Columbus has shot 39% for the game, picked up a little bit in the third quarter. And Trottier counters for the Huntley Project.
15 points for Trottier on the night. He's just continuing what he's been doing this entire tournament. Now I got a whistle and a foul on the drive by Chris Haig. Trottier, 28 points against Malta to open it up on Thursday, and then came back with, I believe, 21 points the following night against, or 23 rather, against Bolton in last night's semifinals. He's got 15 tonight.
Well, that's an average of 22 a game with a quarter to go, or 5.5 minutes to go.
Morales back into the lineup as Austin Fisher sits down. He's just a sophomore. But this really a team dominated by seniors. Walters, Morales, Davison, Decker, and Trottier are all seniors. There's Karst from way outside for the three. This one won't go. It'll stay with the Red Devils. 5:26 to go in the fourth.
Sean Sanderson tried to save that. He was dancing over the end line.
Here's Walters to Karst. Nice pass to Davison. Davison falls down. The shot won't go. Trottier. He's dialed in on that. Here's Morales with the good hard work inside. This will be before the shot. Morales looks like he got raked across the face and kind of holding his head there, but I think he's okay. Look at the ball out of bounds.
Morales takes it hard, goes back up again. I think it was from behind.
Shot won't go and pulled down by Columbus, and now tied up. Nope, they're going to call Trottier for the foul.
And that will be his fourth, I think, Chris.
15 foul. Neither team still in the bonus yet.
4 fouls on Joe Trottier.
Well, Columbus needs some threes in a hurry. 5:07 to go in the game. They trail it by 17.
Decker comes in, and Joe Trottier goes to the bench.
They'll sit him down with 4 fouls. 15 points for Trottier on the night. He's had a big game. Oh, and this one's thrown right to David Karst, and then it goes off his foot. Now inside. Nice move down low. Seth Hubbard makes a nice move, and the lead is 15. Karst to Walters. Walters' pull-up shot is good. Every time Columbus looks like they want to make a move, Huntley answers on the other end. They keep the lead at 17. 4:30 to go. Halfway through the fourth quarter, the state Class B championship. This one almost thrown away.
Edwards is out of there right now for Columbus.
I think the ankle, Dean, definitely a problem tonight. Now a big hand for Huntley Project. As checking into the game is Brandon Ewan, and Willie Davison will sit down. Good game for Willie Davison.
Andy Reynolds comes in as well. And Decker, the center, says, here's what you're going to do.
Well, this is much more reminiscent of the first meeting between the two when Huntley wanted going away, and this is a possible three-point play as Decker, the big man.
Well, Morales was wide open. Whoever had him had lost him, and the pass comes into Morales, gets deflected over to Decker, who takes it in hard. Despite the foul, he just powers it up.
Fouled by Justin Stenerson. Well, what a future this kid has. Can't get the three-point play, so Columbus, now another whistle. I think they're going to get Morales for the foul.
That was a case where instinct took over before thought could prevail.
52-33, the lead is 19. Ball on the ground, but picked up by Columbus. They're still looking inside. There's a circus move under the basket, but nothing there. Morales clears, whips it down court to Trottier. Trottier goes up and in.
I think there are some coaches who may want Morales to think some more about whether he plays football.
Looks like he's dropping back of the old seven-step drop and letting her rip.
And it's flat.
Travel. It'll belong to Columbus.
That was nice.
Well, a lot of credit to the Columbus Cougars for finding a way to get here to the state Class B championship, but tonight they ran into a buzzsaw in the form of Huntley Project, and right now they trail it by 21 points with 3:34 to go in the ball game.
Seniors coming back in for Huntley Project.
And for Doug Vanderpan, what a way to cap off what has been admittedly a great run for this group of seniors that he's had really since the very beginning, Dean. Cap it all off with a state championship to go with the state football. Backdoor to Morales, big time slam.
They knew, they won. There's dancing on the courts. They knew what they wanted to do with when they came back in, when Davison came back in, and that was a beautiful play. That was a college play.
Here we go again. Morales baseballs it down. Trottier.
They're putting the frosting on the cake with what's going on now. This is just great stuff. And after those two exciting moments of those two plays, we're going to see the rest of the hit.
Oh, this is showtime for the Red Devils. Down court quickly.
Well, they can't finish it off, but you're right, Chris. It was a volleyball tap ahead to the man who was ahead and open, and Trottier, Davison, he's celebrating. Trottier is celebrating. They know they've got this one wrapped up. A 25-point lead with 2:41 to go, and now it's time to let everybody else come in and get a piece of the glory, and not only their name in the box score, but I was on the court for a couple of minutes in the state championship game. And when they're 60 years old, they'll still be remembering it.
Celebration is on over on the Huntley bench. Huntley continues to push the ball up the floor. Here's a nice pass inside. Oh, nice ball rotation. Shot won't go, batted around. And a jump ball that'll stay with Huntley Project.
Here's the alley-oop. This one just ignited the place as Davison lets fly with the pass. Morales is coming in, put it down.
And another bucket extends the lead to 60-33. Huntley Project going to be your state Class B basketball champions. They have put on quite a show here in the second half. Shot inside, no good. And that's going to go on number 40, Jan Florella, who's into the ball game now. You can see over on the Huntley bench the players are high-fiving and hugging. It's a long run, you know, when you think of this group of seniors, especially Kevin Morales, Willie Davison, Derek Decker, Joe Trottier, Randy Walter. These guys have been together for a long time. They've been to the state championship now for a third consecutive appearance, and to finally win it, especially here at Metro Park, has to be extremely gratifying.
Well, they're enjoying it to the fullest. They've had some big-time plays, showtime, as you took the Laker term to describe it. And Chris, I don't even know. We may need to talk with just about the whole range of that starting team, because it really has been a great team effort, although at various times it was Trottier, it was Morales, certainly Davison. Decker had his moments too, but maybe we'll try to start with Davison, the point guard, and Trottier and Morales. Coach Barter of Columbus was concerned. He said they go 7 deep, and we've certainly seen a strong performance by Huntley.
We were trying to think of trying to think of multiple winners. We'll take a look on the replay again. On Ian is number.
Morrison gets a block on the shot, but gets called for the foul.
Nick Lopping goes to the line for 2, and he gets the first one to drop. Talk about teams that have carried over the success from the football field to the basketball court, and you're looking at a team that captured the state Class B football title and now can add the state basketball championship.
That's what Malta did last year. This year it's Huntley Project.
Yep, Malta did the exact same thing last year.
Chester is trying to do that tonight up in Great Falls. It's a collection of athletes.
Certainly is, and what a great group of seniors over there, and an outstanding team that Doug Vanderpan has crafted this year. Had those 2 tough losses to Columbus, once during the regular season and once in the postseason at the South B Divisional. But despite coming in as the number 3 seed, they really put 3 great games together. And this one's going to fall off to Fisher. Fisher's just a sophomore. He gets the basket and he'll go to the free throw line with a chance to extend it.
6'1" sophomore. He worked hard to get that rebound. Grabs it up. This is probably a little bit like scrimmage at home, but this time it's on the state tournament floor.
Fight for the ball now cleared out of there for Columbus.
It's a situation where that kid can say, if I have to play against Morales, Decker, and Trottier, I can do okay here.
No question. Well, there'll be a lot of celebrating in Warden tonight as the Red Devils going to cap off a great season in basketball. They'll finish the year at 26-2 and the state Class B championship. Columbus had a great run for Paul Barta and his team. They'll close out the year at 20-7. As we mentioned, a Cougar team that started the year at 6-5, won 12 of the last 13 games they played, went through the districts, beat Huntley in divisionals. Great effort.
Well, Chris, I'm gonna leave you now because things are going to get frantic, as you know, and it's going to be the beauty and joy of live television as we talk with coaches and players and their awards made, and it's just been fun. I know here's Paul Barta, a good man, and it's been a tough night for his Columbus Cougars. They've beaten this team twice, but with the chips on the line tonight, behind the back, showtime continues.
Oh, what a great play. It's been fun tonight at Metro Park, folks. This one is all over. Huntley Project winning the state Class B basketball championship. There's the final basket of the night, put in by Andy Reynolds, and the celebration is on. Let's listen in. 66-36 is the final score. A 30-point win for Huntley Project as they capture the state Class B basketball championship. I think they set the tone early when they opened up Thursday night with a 77-58 win over defending state champion Malta. They came back last night and beat Boulder by 18, 70-52, and they cap it all off tonight, winning by 30 points. 66-36 is the final. Dean Conklin standing by with a victorious head coach, Doug Vanderpan, and we'll go to him in just a moment. Vanderpan, of course, winning his first state championship with Huntley Project. He's with Dean Conklin. Let's go there now.
Championship. That was a big-time performance tonight.
Yeah, we stepped up. We stepped up the way we thought we could and the way we knew we could all year. And I'm just so proud for the boys.
To add a basketball championship to a football championship is something that doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. But these kids are exceptional athletes. They do it all. They're big, they're physical, they're quick, and they love everything. They love track, basketball. They just love all sports.
Well, I don't know where you would start with that group of players that you had tonight, Coach, because you got it from your point guard, you got it from the big guys inside, you got it from the scores.
Well, defensively, everybody, all five of us stepped it up big time. All five of the kids that were on the floor, and that just that just made it happen on the offensive end of the court. And you're right, we did. All five guys on the court stepped it up. We got it from every position tonight.
I know it was a little bit tough for Columbus with Dwan Edwards having the difficulty that he had, but they probably would have needed 3 Dwan Edwards tonight to go against that big, tough front line of yours.
Yeah, it's tough to stop those 3 guys if they're playing together. And Kevin kicked it off right by hitting the first 2 shots of the game from the high elbow, which is the spot we knew was going to be open. And to stop all 3 of those big guys of ours, it's going to take more than 2 that they're going to have to match up. And we talked about matchups earlier. So.
Well, thanks for joining us. Congratulations to you. We're going to be talking with your players in just a few minutes, but we're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back with more on Monday Night Basketball. Coach, you and your team have won the first Class B basketball championship and televised. We're proud to have been a part of it.
Thanks a lot. We're proud to have been a part of it, too.
And we'll be back with more on Monday Night Basketball, Saturday night edition. The Red Devils are having a big time in Billings.
Right now, somewhere in Montana, a child is being abused. At our therapeutic group home in Helena, we treat severely abused and neglected boys and girls and teach them about trust and feeling safe. We're Intermountain Children's Home. Healing through healthy relationships. Know what the harshest thing is about a Montana winter? That some people have to choose between going hungry and facing it without heat. But help may be available with the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program. To learn more, call your Human Resources Development Council or Montana Power.
We're back at the Metro Park Arena. There's a lot of celebration going right now. The net has come down. The nets have come down on both ends, and Mark Beckman of the MHSA is providing awards. Senator Max Baucus is going to give him a hand with that, along with Rick Burt, the Missoula Division Operations Manager. There are going to be certificates of participation that go to the 5 teams who don't win hardware, but we haven't quite gotten to that point yet. We're going to visit with Derek Decker while they provide some of the awards for teams that didn't pick up hardware. Derek, you guys have played together for a long time.
You know, I can remember back in the 5th grade when we all got together and coming into the old gym, the elementary gym, and practicing for summer tournaments, you know, and all this time paid off. I mean, this is great. I mean, words can't even express how much this means to all of us.
Well, to put with it a football championship as well.
I mean, hey, that took as much time as this did, and, you know, all of us came together with so much enthusiasm, and, you know, both championships mean so much to us.
Did you have some concern playing Columbus again because they'd beaten you the last 2 times you'd played?
Well, you know, they did beat us twice, you know, so we knew we had to come out here with everything we got, and we gave everything we got. We gave 110%, and we came out on top.
Well, congratulations on a big basketball championship to go with your football championship, and we wish you the best. We know that you're headed for the University of Montana to play football.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to have a lot of fun there, too.
Okay, and I think we're going to talk with Kevin Morales before we join the award ceremonies. Kevin, congratulations.
Thank you.
What was the best part of tonight for you?
It'd probably have to be the alley-oop dunk. That would probably be the best part tonight. Well, winning was top that off.
Well, of course, the victory was huge, and you have a football championship. You showed us a little bit of quarterback, too.
Yeah, we like to get the ball fast once we rebound. We like to just take off and run, and that's what we did all season, and we finally showed it tonight that we could do it again.
Well, this may not be ESPN, but that alley-oop that you threw down on a nice pass from Davison, that's going to get played a little bit.
Yeah, it was a design play. We run it a lot in the season. We ran it before, so.
First time you ran it tonight?
First time we ran it all tournament, yeah.
You got any thoughts about this victory in front of pretty much the home folks in Metro?
We knew this is our pretty much our home court. It was right here 50 miles away from where we live, so we had to come here and show them who was boss.
Well, you sure did that tonight, Kevin. Congratulations. And we're going to join the award ceremony where Rick Burt, the state senator, the U.S. senator, is presenting awards.
In second place, team with a great season, the Columbus Cougars.
Paul Barta and his team coming to pick up their award. It's a tough loss for them, but they had a great game, and the Huntley Project Red Devils are quick to come over and shake hands with the team that they played for the 4th time tonight, and it's a big victory for them. Now back to Rick Burt.
And in first place, they also did in football, Huntley Project.
And what we see is the 5 seniors joining hands and walking over to pick up the championship trophy, pick up the net, shake hands with the senator. Congratulations on a great game. Well, that winds up the formal award presentations, and Huntley Project is celebrating. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more on Monday Night Basketball, Saturday Class B Championship Edition. We know who the champions are. We'll be back. Chris Byers will join me, and we'll have some more discussion with Huntley Project's state champion Class B basketball team.
Welcome to Louis. Now, around home, it's clear to me you
gotta play it safe around electricity. Now keys go here and fingers go here. But smart little buddies know they don't go here.
Don't only bugs go here.
If there's one thing I know about radios and dryers, you never use them around baths or showers.
I get the idea.
You gotta play it safe around electricity. You gotta play it safe around electricity. Oh, yes, you gotta play it safe around.
Montana's a place where a handshake speaks as loud as words. Where friends are like family. And the best conversation of the day is around the dinner table. Touch America is proud to offer state-of-the-art telecommunication systems to homes and offices all across Montana, and to be a part of the spirit that connects us all. Touch America, the Montana Power Telephone Company.
Well, we heard the count from behind with, I think it's Joe Trottier who's showing us he can count backwards from 5. But you've had a great tournament, Joe.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
For which, the fact that I acknowledge your counting of it. Okay, we'll forget the counting part. But you did have a big tournament, and I want to talk with this guy, Mr. Davison. You did a great job of throwing that ball.
Thanks. I've always thrived on that. I love passing the ball, so if somebody's open, I'm going to get it to them.
And then in the third quarter, you came out and nailed a couple of threes when it looked like Columbus might start to get back in the ball game.
Yeah, they gave me the open shot the first time, and I think Kevin set a screen for me the second time, and it was open that time too, so I hit it.
Chris, I know that you've got some thoughts. Come on in here.
Yeah, these are my guys. These are the hometown guys. First of all, congratulations, fellas. And we've been watching you guys play since you were in 5th and 6th grade. How sweet is it for you guys to win the state title, having played together since you were little kids?
It's the sweetest thing in the world.
Sweet.
You can't describe it. It's just awesome.
It's been a dream.
It's been a dream forever.
You guys have been, I think, 3 years in a row now to the state tournament. You lost last year in the semis. You lost the year before in the opening round. You came back and really just ran the table and blitzed the field. Pretty nice job, huh?
Yeah, it's exciting. We knew we could do it this year. We came in, that was our goal at the start of the season, to come in and just take it to everybody.
Well, it was a great game to watch. You guys are so impressive. Randy, great game. I know you're going to play a little baseball now this summer, but you got a football title, you got a basketball title. I mean, what's next?
We'll try something, man. These are the greatest 5 guys I've ever hung around, man. This is sweet. I love these guys.
One other question. There's a lot of chemistry with this basketball team. And, David Cars came over around Christmas time. When he came into the program, did you just absorb him, or was there a little bit of, how are we going to work him in?
He played with us in the summer. He worked out with us in the summer. He shot with us in the summer. So he is pretty much absorbed right away. I mean, open arms. It's not that hard to get along with us. It's pretty good.
He gave us a huge spark.
Well, it's been a pleasure to watch you guys. Enjoy your state championship, and thanks for letting us be a part of it.
Before we go, let's invite the rest of the team to come in and join us. These are the guys who have carried the water tonight. They've done a great job, but it takes some guys in practice as well, so it's their opportunity to get on the camera and say, what are you? Get to the back, Well, you've heard from the Huntley Project, state champions in basketball after winning the state championship in Class B football. We'll be back with more Monday night basketball, Saturday night edition with Huntley Project night in Billings after this message.
All right, Tommy.